Hi, it's me again, Tracy Hart, and this time I want to talk about the upcoming projects. We have 3 projects that you're asked to submit topics on right now, and I want to just go over the first 2. I'm going to break this into 2 parts, 2 videos, otherwise the video will be too long. But I want to talk about the first 2 topics, the first 2 projects, and that is the instructional technology paper and the technology tool presentation. Those topics are due right now, and I'm getting some questions about, what to do my project on and so forth. Okay, in the week 4 module content, you're going to find a document in there that is a list. It's called a tools directory list. And basically it's just a pretty long list with clickable links in there that you can use to peruse the choices that might be available to you. And if you think of something else, I'm sure it'll be fine. Just let me know. But it's pretty comprehensive. So if you're having trouble picking a topic, please refer to that list that's in the week 4 module content. It's also in the supplemental folder. I have a folder on the home page, which I'm certain that you all know about by now. And the purpose of that folder is to put documents such as these, so that you don't have to always remember what week was that in and where did I find that before. For those kinds of documents, I take them out and I put them in that supplemental folder, so you have it in another place too, and you don't have to dig around. Okay, so what you're going to do is select a topic. The first project is to write your instructional paper on that topic. What I mean by topic is pick a tool, an instructional tool, or a technology tool that's used for instruction. And yes, I know we toss these words around like everybody knows what we're talking about. And we're finding out that there's a lot of detail there. Okay, so let's say that you pick a topic like, I'm having trouble thinking of video. You want to do YouTube. You will do some research online. If there are academic works out there, then I strongly encourage you to look for those scholarly works, and maybe even in other kinds of resources like Campus Technology or EDUCAUSE. That's another good resource. And find some information, some very relevant information about the tool that you're looking at. That paper is an individual project. It is not meant for group work. It is meant for you to just work on your own. It's a formal paper. It's double-spaced, 3 to 5 pages. We're going to share those with folks later on, but for now, you're working on it by yourself. The information about grading and the point value and the due dates, all of that is in the syllabus. You'll see that. I've got it up right here. It starts on the bottom of page 2, the top of page 3, depending on what version of the syllabus you're looking at. Okay, and you're going to include, of course, the description of your technology that you've selected. You're going to talk about the instructional context, like how do you use this? In what ways does it make sense to use to deliver information in this kind of format? You're going to talk about pros and cons. And yes, there are pros and there are cons. You might look at something and think it's so fantastic. How could it possibly have a con? I promise you it has a con. And I will point it out if you don't point it out for me. So, so that's part of what your research is supposed to include. Also, you're going to talk about the connection to learning theories, how those two relate. You are not, again, I've told you this before, this is not a theories class, and you are not expected to know the learning theories and all of those, the distance ed theories in the book and all that. You're not expected to know them, but you are expected to refer to them and have a little bit of knowledge, and you can always go back to your book and pull out more information, or to some of the module content, the PowerPoints or whatever, and use the information that's there for you. But you'll need to connect that, and that's part of the requirement of this paper. Not in great detail, but just to show a relationship. You will also need to properly cite your sources, and you're going to be probably getting them from lots of different places. So look up and look. You can check APA style for well, I prefer APA style. I'm not going to be picky about the style that you use. My concern is that you cite. This is not an APA class either, so my concern is that you cite. And what I was saying about websites is you'll need to get the link and, you know, date retrieved and what the information that you need to provide, and there are several sources for that. You can check Word, you can check the APA manual, there are plenty of places you can check. I don't need to give that to you now. The other thing is, please use proper spelling and grammar. Most software has spell check and grammar check on it, and if you're in doubt, please have a friend or family member review your paper, review your paper, because, you know, this is 400 level college class and you're about to graduate, so I'm hoping that you know how to write papers, formal papers that are in proper grammar and spelling. And I've had papers that haven't been, so obviously, else I wouldn't bring it up. Okay, that's the first project, and that's due in week 9. And then the second project is the technology tool presentation. For this one, if you'd like to, you can group up with someone. You can do that as a group, or you can do that as an individual assignment. That's up to you. The paper is on your own, but the technology tool presentation can be in a group. The limit is 3, no more than 3. Okay. You're going to research the tool. I have provided matrices that are also in the week 4 or 5 module content. I didn't check that, but it's also in the supplemental folder. It's due, that presentation is due in week 11. So are you already wondering, why are those assignments due so close together? Well, if you're doing the work and you're doing the research, then you should be able to write a paper about it and then also have all of that information at the ready for you to put together a presentation on it. Okay, so let's talk about the format of the presentation. You are not in a face-to-face class, and we're not going to be doing a formal face-to-face presentation. However, if you want to present in a format that kind of gives that, you can use video. You can use other kinds of software to deliver your presentation. You can use, if you want to use, excuse me, if you want to use Prezi or some other presentation software, Slide Rocket or something like that, feel free to do that. You know, you could write your paper about that and then also do your tool presentation on that and actually use the tool to do your presentation. I had someone last year do Adobe Connect with Camtasia as a YouTube, and it was great. So, okay, so another format is PowerPoint. If, you know, this is not, I've bumped into issues with file size and with other kinds of software and third-party programs and things like that, and I just would rather avoid that for myself and for you, and not have to deal with that. So if you give a PowerPoint presentation, they'll probably have to be PDF because those file sizes are too large to upload into WebCT, and that's the issue there, is that there's just a lot of problems with using other tools inside of WebCT. If we're doing it outside of WebCT, it doesn't matter, but inside, we've got to work with those constraints. Okay, so I hope that gives you a little bit more information about the 2 upcoming projects. That those are the first ones due, the second one's due in week 11. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the final project in another video. Okay, bye.